January 20th, Today is January 20th, 2019. We just got done, so this is my first year of really doing a lot of strategic goals for the business, for myself, for my team. We just got back this week from doing our first ever company retreat, which was a lot of fun. It was a lot more effective than I thought it was going to be. I knew it was going to be effective. I just didn't think it was going to be as effective as it was. It was a nice chance for us the people that are in the office on day-to-day basis, to really touch base with some people that are working more remotely. I have one employee now out in Philly, and I have another employee now out in New York. So this also gave me a really good opportunity to kind of sit down with each person individually and say, where are you thinking about going? This is, so I started off the whole entire retreat with basically, here's the goals for 2019. This is where I envision REDTREE going. And it was really nice because then I was able to open up the conversation to, well, what's your vision? Obviously this is mine. I have a true passion for websites, and I have a passion, or I've become passionate about building a business. So what's yours? And a couple of them didn't have passions that align specifically with my business, which is fine, because how then can I help you to achieve your passion? I know how important it is to me. And you opening that channel for me does a couple of things. Number one, it gives me the opportunity to help. But on top of that, too, gets you to a happy place, So it was a great opportunity for me to talk a lot about the goals for 2019. And I'll put a couple of clips inside of here of, me giving the presentation and kind of what it is that I was thinking about doing. So then we did on one-on-ones, which was a lot more intense than I had originally thought it was going to be. I think I also, they really weren't prepared for what, I was bringing. I bought brand new position descriptions. I, basically incorporated offers into it going into 2019 because a lot of these new initiatives are going to land on one specific person, or, the whole entire team working together. So, what kind of initiatives, what kind of perks can I give them to really help, to incentivize them, right? So they would be able to actually chip in. And then obviously there's the people that go above and beyond anything that I could ever offer, and how do I clearly convey to a team up front what could be opportunities for them to go above and beyond? So I clearly outlined that as well. But it also gave me a chance to really get to know individually and have candid conversations with each person and say, this is where I'd like you to go. Where do you want to go? Do you want to go here? Okay, you do. Okay, you don't. Let's see how we can get you there. So, and then it actually, great week, right? I felt so empowered. I felt so, a lot of people were giving, a lot of my team was like, you know what, Misha, and my business coach was giving me this analogy of, you're driving a school bus, and all of a sudden you open up the doors and you're just expecting your team to get on. You don't know where you're going. You don't know how you're getting there. And you don't know why you need all of these people, right? So it was a huge opportunity for me to be able to say, this is where we're going. This is where I see you. Get on this bus, right? And it felt very clear. And a lot of the goals that we've started to set out have already pretty much, I'm laser focused, which is empowering. It makes me feel strong, and it makes me feel clear. And then just like anything else in entrepreneurship, there was something that happened Friday night. I went to LinkedIn and I was looking at one of my current employees, and I come to find out she had created a whole entire website that was pretty much all of the work that she has created by working in our company. And I was stuck between this rock and this hard place, right? Because number one, this isn't just one person's piece of work. And I didn't like how she was positioning the fact that it was, it was her work. We do everything at REDTREE as a team. And even the design process to development process to the discovery process, we do all of us together so that we all can have equal input and equal collaboration, right? So that was a little disheartening to me too. And then, there was also this like, well, why does she need this website? And it hurt my feelings at first. I'll be very honest with you. It hurt my feelings, but I need to keep remembering that, one of my old business partner's downfall was she would always equate the business as her child. This is not my child. And yes, feelings are important, but there's a true business behind this. And I'm almost putting my words where my mouth is, right? So I said to a lot of these people, what can I do to get you to that next step? And here it is, one of my employees created something to get her to that next step. And then I was hurt by that. So now I'm stuck between this rock place of how do I allow her to utilize a portfolio, one of the portfolio pieces that we created inside of REDTREE, but not actually, saying that it's all hers, or could we follow a line? And this is the other part too of being the leader versus just the friend, right? I'm not okay with her using these pieces, most of the pieces. But again, there are some pieces that she has used or that she has used, but she's created from beginning to end without anyone's additional input. And those are definitely pieces that she should put into her portfolio, because at this point in time, she's gotten to that point where she can utilize that in her portfolio. So it's going to be a little bit of a tough conversation. And I think it was also just kind of like a full circle for me of, almost kind of like God was showing me, like, you're telling all of these people you're going to do what's best for them. But what if what's best for them means leaving that company? Are you still okay with that? And that was a hard, humble pill I needed to swallow. And I am okay with that. And I need to eliminate feelings to the side and, make business decisions with feelings instead of, making decisions with feelings for my business. So it was really, really great. It was a great week. I was super pumped about it. I spent a majority of yesterday really, spending honestly some time with my wife. I have also decided too that because of what had happened with my employee, that it's time for me to institute an employee handbook. It's time for me to really look at some of my contracts and make sure that my subcontractors, my partners, everything is really tied in together. So it was a good awakening for me. There's structures inside of businesses for a reason. There's goals inside of businesses for a reason. And this just allows me to be very, very focused. So I'm really looking forward to 2019. I'm really looking forward to these blogs. These are really helping me. I'm hoping that in a year's time, I'll be able to come back and say, wow, look at how much I've learned. Look at how much I've grown, because there's been a couple of these I've looked back on 2 weeks ahead of time and said, wow, I thought that was the end of my business. I thought that was the end of my entrepreneurship, that I was dealing with that struggle. But it's nice. So, and it's also nice for me too. I have a business coach now, which is really, really helping me. And hopefully too, this is January 20th, 2019. There's been certain conversations about my wife coming on to the team, which would be really huge for us. She's really good at people. She's really good at thinking bigger picture, and she kind of is good about pulling that out of me too. I think kind of like there's hamsters that go on inside of my head, and to really put pen and paper and have plans out there, that's going to be something really good to structure me to do. And she's really good about seeing that kind of stuff and then creating processes that are aligned with that. So I'm going to see, it's January 2019, and let's see if it ever comes true, right? She's also been talking a lot about doing some nonprofit work and, some adventure therapy and things, and we'll see kind of how those all transpire into each other. But I will say it's been a nice weekend. There was a lot of things that I was kind of curious to see how everything was going to be played out. From, pitching this to the team to really outlining this and then being clear and focused moving forward. There also was, I wanted to share this. I was so focused on getting all these goals in line and getting all the initiatives that align with the goals and then presenting this to my team and then, really making sure that we're all on the same page. And then, come Friday, there was like this realization just kind of sunk in, and it's like, okay, now it's action time. Planning is one thing, outlining is one thing. These are great things. But now I really need to start, hitting the pavement, getting forward, delegation, things like that. Um, and the thing that I was talking about a little bit before, I was able to spend a little bit of time with my wife yesterday, which was nice. Um, I think that there's like an ebb and flow of your life in general, especially as an entrepreneur. Maybe your business takes a little bit more of your time, and having a good balance of personal life where maybe, that that's going to be sacrificed temporarily, but you know that in the back of your head that you want to kind of come back. So me really taking a little bit of extra time this weekend to spend some time with my wife. We went flea market shopping. We love flea market shopping. Spending some time with the dogs. We ran around in the snow. It just snowed for like the second time this year, which is super sad. So little things like that that's been nice to really kind of connect back with my family, and they're just as important as my business, and so am I. So now that all of this stuff is done, it's really time to start grinding. So I'm excited about it. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of clips of my presentation that I gave to my team. Forgive the lighting. It's not the best, but I wanted to document it for future purposes. So this is Misha.